how to build community. In a time where we're all looking for positive, proactive solutions to build more human connection, more community resilience, I want to share with you a couple strategies that I've implemented and seen work over the last 6 months. Now, I've lived in my house here for going on 5 years, and coming into 2020, I hate to say it, though I had met my neighbors and I knew a few people, primarily just names only, I didn't really have a relationship with them at all. And I've been building community for a long time, but it's been through my work. It's been through the space of common interests like health and wellness, and through the Light Cellar. And I've got friends who I've always admired their ability to create community literally on the street they live. Most of us, we live in urban environments and we're surrounded by people, by neighbors, and we don't even know them, right? The person that lives across the street or just down the road. And so when all this kind of hit 6 months ago, that was my intention, is I wanted to create more community, get to know my neighbors, and develop relationships truly. So the one neighbor friend, that who does have those relationships, he gave me some advice. He says, "Hey Malcolm, one thing you can do, and how I've built it," and this is a guy where he literally, like, he'll be out in his front yard and it's hello to this person, hi to that person, and they're always like working together, doing projects, they're helping each other out. He says, if you want to get to know your neighbor, if you want to build those relationships, start hanging out in your front yard. Do some projects out there. So this spring, when we're all kind of in lockdown, and I had some spring projects to do out in the front yard. And sure enough, as I was out there, as I started engaging in that work, I'd have neighbors that were walking by, someone stopped to help. And since then, true relationships have developed. Not only do I know their names, we've actually intentionally hung out. And there's a couple neighbors that I consider them friends as well as neighbors. Then we can rely on each other, and we're building that relationship. I was at a permaculture training this week, and one of the instructors, Cameron, shared a similar story where she was working on her front yard. She'd always been focusing in the backyard, and I can relate to that. That's where I've put most of my energy, into creating space and into building up a fruit and vegetable garden. And so she finally one year put intention into the front of her yard. And at first her neighbors were a little suspicious, like, what are you doing? What's going on here? And she put a pergola and a bench and just made it so beautiful and so inviting that neighbors would literally just stop by. Her and her husband, they would sit up front and have a glass of wine, and neighbors would just come on by, and she's created so much community in that space. I also know folks and neighbors that will have gatherings, have parties, right? So you live on a block, and you can host it. Could be in your home if you feel comfortable doing that. Could be a backyard party, or maybe it's a park nearby, right? And it's like, hey, we're all gonna get together and we're gonna, bring your own drinks, bring your own, whatever. I'll have the barbecue out, and then just invite all the neighbors. Maybe it's like an annual thing. It's in the summer, or maybe it's kind of around Christmas time when everyone's around. Those are some strategies that I have seen worked, participated in, and seen the benefits of building that local community. What about you? What strategies do you have? Do you know your neighbors by name? Do you hang out? Do you help each other out with projects and in other ways? Let me know.